This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast. It's Tuesday, October 25th today. Busy show. Busy morning.
It was.
Entire Quinte region buzzing as we do after an election. Municipal election probably more than any other because more people run, more impact made. I think more people vote, although
it depends on where you were.
Mixed. Numbers were up in Belleville, but then you vote out an incumbent, so that happens.
Yeah.
Newer people in the county, it happens. Looked like numbers were down in Quinte West, but the incumbent's in, so that tends to fall.
They were down by, how far did they go down? 30% of people casted votes. It just says it was down from last year.
Down from last year, yeah. I think it was 33 last year.
Okay.
But, and you know, when the average, they say provincial is 35, so Belleville at 40% looks like we're the shining example, but it's still only 40%.
Yeah, it's still not great.
And I don't want to beat everybody up because we've been talking about politics a lot the last couple of days, but man, it's so easy to vote. Come on.
But those who did vote made it clear.
Resounding.
Yeah.
So Neil Ellis is back in after a two-term mayor prior to becoming our member of parliament for a couple or three stints up in Ottawa. So he returns on a lot of the same platform, which was doctor recruitment. And he had mentioned that during the campaign. So we managed to, we thought get him out of bed this morning.
Oh, no.
Good morning.
Good morning. Incoming Mayor Neil Ellis.
Congratulations.
How are you? Well, thanks from Radioland. Everything's good.
Good. Glad. Yesterday is now running into 48 hours long.
I think I'm at 24 hours without sleep, but things are well.
I think that's good. So was it nerves? Is it excitement? Is it the responsibility? What is keeping you up?
I've yet to figure that out, so maybe we'll have to ask me that tomorrow. If I can get
all of the above. Yeah. Yesterday was a big day. Going into it, Neil, how did you feel? Were you fairly confident? Did you have any inkling?
Good. Yeah, no, it felt good. We knocked on a ton of doors, and the response was good. And you never know an election, though, so it was kind of nervous last night, and back and forth. But it was quick, and it was over with, and the results were positive.
When you were knocking on the doors, as you were, say, 8 years ago, for example, are there a lot of changes? Because a lot of the things you brought up were very strong parts of your terms a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think people are happier to see me this time than last time, but believe that or not. So
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, no, it was good, and we had a great team, a great bunch of people helping. I can't thank them enough.
Well, and to go along with what Mark was saying, how different this time around from your previous term as mayor?
Good. Everybody was friendly. We had a great time indoors. It was. I can't say enough. It was a fantastic election.
Take a look down the councillors who were elected. I mean, here's your softball question. This is going to be your council moving forward.
Favorite? Is that what you're going to ask?
But you got some ones that you've never worked with who won't have experience. I mean, they bring new skills in there. Some including like housing issues with Barbara, for example. So what are you looking at in there in the roles that they'll play moving forward in the things that you want to get done?
I think we got a great group, and when I look overall and when the dust settled, everybody's basically on the same page, it looks, and everybody is definitely, and they want to move the city forward. We've got a great mix of and I hate to say the word old councillors, but a great mix of experienced councillors and a great mix of new councillors. So it's interesting. We'll get the ideas out and shape some policy and form, and it's exciting. And most of them, I ran into everybody last night on the old side and on the new side, and everybody's excited and everybody's in for the right reasons. Well,
and you can hear the excitement in your voice too, Neil.
Well, thank you. No, and especially after about 2 hours sleep. So
right, exactly. So first things first, so you got to redo Dancing with the Stars and finish better.
Oh,
That's got to be done.
Okay.
I think, I don't know. And I don't know. That'll be between Edgerton, Boyce, one and Quinte West. So we will get a dance off here with them.
Okay, let's wait 2 or 3 years into the term.
Things to look forward to. Yes.
But again, congratulations. Thanks for taking some time this morning, and good luck when the term gets going.
I appreciate it. Thanks, and lots of time to talk over the next 4 years.
Congratulations, then. So we've got his number. You heard him say we can talk to him a lot.
He did sound excited, though.
Yeah.
When from the time he picked out, as soon as we reached out to him this morning, he's like, "Yes, of course, I'm up. Let's talk." Which it's good. You want that excitement and that enthusiasm to get rolling.
And knowing, Neil, that we've known him over the years in many different hats that he's worn, from business person to mayor, of course, and then member of parliament. You wonder, well, is mayor a step down? How's he going to, sort of? No, he's back with a renewed sense of.
He clearly feels passionately about it. He wants to do. He truly wants to do it,
right?
And for the city, for the betterment of the residents here in the city, which is what you want in your mayor for sure.
Are you excited or you feel responsible? Both. That's why I can't sleep. A couple of hours. So it's like, so good on him. All right. So councilors, a couple of new councilors are included in there.
Some familiar faces.
Right. Some incumbents didn't get back in. So it looked like a bit of a changing of the guard. Nothing radical, of course, because, we are in a conservative area of Ontario. So it's never going to be wholesale changes. But as you said, maybe a bit of a message sent. In Belleville. Not so much in Quinte West, where everything's been kind of honky-dory and the voters are like, it's fine with us.
Clearly people are happy with Jim Harrison. Third term. And to the best of his knowledge, there has never been an elected official 3 years in a row in the top chair in all the years of Trenton and Quinte West. So a momentous time, and we gave him a call this morning. We let him sleep a little bit longer. Not much longer.
How you doing?
We're good. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Hey, I slept well.
Did you? That's good.
Good to hear.
Congratulations, Mayor Harrison.
Thank you. It was a great night, and I'm a bit relaxed this morning, but
I bet you are. In the great history of Trenton, and then, of course, of Quinte West, how many 3-term mayors have there been? Do you know?
Just me.
Just you,
Just you.
That's historic.
Well, there you go.
Well, we're honored here on the show that they
Thank you for
elected
taking the time.
to let us call you for 4 more years.
Well, hey, I'm really hoping that we can keep this up for 4 more years, right?
4 more years. 8 more years. What did you hear knocking on doors this year that you didn't hear 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, all kinds of things. People are, it's been a stressful time for many people the last 30 months. And, and of course, people are worried about food security, their home, their life. How can I continue? And we, as a municipality, and I think all of us, have to get together and look at the cost of fuel and how can we continue to do what we do more efficiently.
Of course.
And we will. We will work together, and I wish everybody well. I'm proud of the people who supported me and reelected me, and I will work for everybody and our neighbors. We work together well, and we will continue to do that.
Now, those elected alongside you, Mayor Harrison, looking at your council now, what are your thoughts going ahead?
Oh, listen, it'll be a learning curve for some, but I've got a good nucleus of people there who know what the job entails, and we'll work together and try to bring everybody up to speed. It's a learning curve and it's a steep learning curve because you're elected, you're in there, you're working today, and we'll just do our best.
Yeah, Mayor Jim Harrison, elected to his 3rd term as mayor of the great city of Quinte West. We will talk to you next, I imagine, for your Christmas greeting. Is that the next one up, Charity? I think so. I think that's Call you a couple weeks before Christmas, see how things are going.
You want to get how about Remembrance Day?
Remembrance Day. That's what we'll do.
We'll do that for sure. Yes,
for sure.
Well, we want you to get settled first, Mayor. We don't want to bombard you too quickly.
Listen, you never bombard me, and I really love the work you do, and I appreciate the help.
The thing is, as I had said to Charity, the first time you're elected, you're up at 4, you can't wait to. Second term, 6 o'clock. Third term, it's like, I'll call you clowns when I want to. You don't have to wake up with us.
Yeah, well, listen, it's been great, and I really I thank you very much, and it's great to hear from you. Always is.
It's always fun to speak with, and I'm glad we get to continue to speak with Mayor Jim Harrison over the next 4 years, and clearly he's excited to talk to us too.
I could slap myself for not thinking about Remembrance Day.
Oh, I know.
He always gives a great address.
Well, and it's funny because as we were talking to him, I did think of Remembrance Day and the base, but I thought no, we'll talk. It'll be more than just his words. We'll get the full story. Of course, we do reach out to him anyway to get his thoughts because there's always big happenings at the base around Remembrance Day. But he himself will be. We'll talk to him around the holidays.
Here's what I'm guilty of. I'm thinking, well, you're not in yet by November 11th. But of course, he's been in for 2 terms. So
it's just another
Ellis
day.
Won't be, but
it's just another day for Mayor Harrison.
He
just goes back to work, and
it's like, all right, you guys.
But those were the ones we reached out to this morning. Of course, also returning Steve Ferguson over in the county. I know in our neck of the woods in Trent Hills, Bob Crate remains mayor. Brian Ostrander in Brighton remains mayor, and Bob Mullen voted in as mayor in Sterling. We did have someone reach out about Tyendinaga as well. Claire Kennelly was voted in as Reeve, and then it was
everybody else acclaimed.
Yeah, acclaimed. Yeah. There was nobody running in the respective other spots available. So, yeah, it was quick. Polls closed at 8, and results started coming in shortly after.
I thought we had everything done by about 9. Yeah. Everything you wanted to know, you knew by 9.
I feel bad for our news team because it used to be a big, not that it still isn't a big event, but all night. I remember being in radio stations where it would be catered. They'd have someone come in with food about 9:30, maybe some refreshments at the end of the night to celebrate and to get every work done. And then you worked until 1 or 2 to get the stories out to everybody in the morning.
You had to wait for somebody to drive in from Center Hastings or something. You had to wait for a phone in from somewhere.
Get all the votes counted and recounted if necessary. And
sorry, I may be the only old guy in the world that loves the new way. Oh my gosh, thank you. Because I just want the results.
Yeah.
Just let me know how it goes, and then let's
I would request that media outlets reported a little differently, in the sense that it's great to hear numbers, but as you just said, we just want to hear who won.
You want to hear names.
We want to hear names. And then you can get into all the rest. Put that in a bigger story, maybe online or somewhere. But when you start hearing possible votes or what term did I ask you about this morning?
At large. Option votes.
Option votes. That was the option votes. Yeah. And then they list everyone who ran.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, but who won and who was returning?
How many on this list isn't always clear. Some are.
Exactly.
Some are very clear.
Some are very clear, straightforward, and these are the people who won. And then later down, it's like, this is everyone who won. Like it kind of, just it gets a little confusing. There's so many people.
We get up so early. We need it very clear. And not just because we want it clear, because somebody's going to text us and we have to say, oh, yeah, let me look that up.
Exactly. Well, and we were this morning, and that's what we're here for. And that's what I love. We would say something and people would message in and be like, okay, well, what about this town? Or what about that? Because we can't mention everybody, of course.
Right. Yeah.
And we're happy to do that. So it's kind of neat that people reached out this morning and
that's why they're called broadcasting, and I'm not being facetious. That's a term. We try to do as much.
Yes.
We can't narrowcast a particular cast. We can't but if there's something you want to know, text us. We'll look it up for you. Mm-hmm. But it can't
We'll find out. We'll try to find it for you for sure. Because we had one from Havelock, and that's not an area we typically talk about.
Right.
But of course, there are people in Havelock who listen to us. So yes, we will.
Well, we're number one with a bullet in Havelock. Thank you. Good morning, Havelock. The jewel of Highway 7.
That's right.
And right now, Norwood's pissed.
I was in Havelock yesterday. It is not going to, you say jewel, it is beautiful.
Oh, I love it. No, it's great.
It is beautiful up there right now. Like the leaves are just
Stop
gorgeous.
At the Tim Hortons at the Petro Can there.
It's always busy.
Before going up north around Dummer Lake.
Yep.
Those there's right. You take that turn. It's great. Or Norwood at the church. Either way, that's 2 ways that I get up north that way.
It's beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It's a beautiful drive.
I love it. So thank you, everybody, for today. It was and somebody made the mention in our sales department yesterday, and it is worth bringing up because she asked me, she said, this is literally the end of the elections for a while, though, right? Because it seems like we've been in them, right?
It's so true.
And that includes the Canadian, the Conservative Party's leadership. So it's been nothing but politics from the provincial election in June throughout the Conservative leadership campaign in the summer. Now, it's over for a while, right?
Yeah. It wasn't that long ago we had a federal.
Exactly.
It wasn't last year, but it was
pretty darn close. It was just before Christmas. Yeah, it was about this time. So in the last 12 months, we've had three campaigns and a leadership race. 4 of them in a 12-month period. And it's exhausting. It is.
Let's just be
taxing. So now let's just get back to hockey. Let's have hockey unite us. Instead of politics divide us. No, I know.
Hockey doesn't really unite us either.
Stepped in with both skates on that one.
Living in the States, I don't want to focus on it, but they are perpetually in election mode. It doesn't matter if the election is, because there isn't an election this year, but I'm seeing they're already, it's midterms, but they're not voting on the president or any of the major seats right now.
Sure they are. It's Congress and Senate.
Okay, so that's why. Okay, I thought, because honestly, it just seems like they're always
Jimmy brings that up.
Always campaigning.
Jimmy brings up, he's like, wait a minute, you guys have a federal election that is designed to find. Yeah, it's 6 weeks long.
Yeah.
And he says, our presidential campaigns, because of primaries, last 2.5 years. And I remember when primaries started. Why? Because I'm old. Because it used to be what they call the smoky back room. The campaign, the Democrats would get together and the Republicans would get together, and they would decide on who was going to be their candidate. And they would announce it, and then out they go. And then somebody said that should be more transparent. There should be races to determine who the candidates would be. So I, as a Republican or as a Democrat card holder, should have a right in having a say as to my candidates.
Who's running.
So so now how are we going to do that? So we're going to have So that's why it goes on for 2.5 years. The first 2 years of which is just to determine who their candidate is, and then the last 3 or 4 months, in we go. They have their conventions. They decide who it's going to be, and then they run for president for 3 months. So as a result, they are actually in election mode.
From the time Biden took office, it felt like, okay, what are we going to do in 4 years? It's like, what?
Yeah.
He just got there.
Yeah.
Really? You're going to start fighting?
Yep.
You're not fighting, but fighting, because it is. Their campaigns are totally different than how ours are run too. And it's constant. There's always commercials and signs.
It'll never go back now. It'll never not be contentious again. And I go back to George Bush.
And that's why I didn't know they were actually voting. Because it seems like it's all the time.
It's big time. The first week of November, I think it's November the 8th, is their midterm election day, I believe. That's the 7th or the 8th. And
that's for Congress.
And Senate, and it will be, again, explosive. And I hope it isn't violent, but it's going to be crazy. It's just all going to blow up again.
That's 2 weeks away.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You better believe it. Yep.
Jeez.
I know.
See,
but I look back 30 years ago when George H. Bush was elected, and they had that ad with Willie Horton, and it was really going to run Michael Dukakis down into the ground. And George Bush didn't want to run it. He said, no, it's dirty politics. Can you imagine that now? A candidate who has dirt on another says, no, I don't want to run it. It would be 24/7 with 10 other things.
I would like to believe Biden wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
I would like to believe that.
Yeah.
He strikes me as the type of person who wouldn't. But I know what you're saying. Of course, they wouldn't even bat an eyelash. There's a lot who
they're all out
just
there.
Be,
yeah. So now it's just like, okay, it's over. It's I mean, democracy as far as that goes, it's just going to be a power struggle, and as ugly as it can get, and a lot of money, and
No, that's too bad. Well, then they can keep it. They can keep it all there.
I just want to go to Florida for a while. I don't want to have to deal with it. I just want to go away somewhere where it's go on vacation. I like your geography. Well, if you have to go
to Florida, if you're going to go to Florida, you're going to have to shut off your TVs and just look at the beach. Just look at the beach the whole time you're there.
I'll just borrow an airport and your cruise port and then go out in the water. Yeah. That's all.
That's all I want.
That's all I need. Don't want to take part in anything else. Shall I seat you in the Republican or the Democrat section of the restaurant?
I'll sit upstairs with the Canadians.
Right? Yeah. Put me on the patio with the Canadians. We're going to sit outside.
Yeah, and enjoy the sunshine.
So true. Congrats to everybody, including those that didn't get enough votes to get in this time. You made it work. You put your name out.
It takes a lot just to run.
It sure does.
Kudos to you.
It sure does.
It's
and the fact that you ran is never forgotten. I know people who run all the time, and I think that's just great. because you're saying, I want to try and help out if I can. This time around, people didn't want or didn't think to, but doesn't mean down the road, right? Good on you. So thanks to everybody for that. Coming up tomorrow, Lindsay Dobbs is on the show from the Trenton Memorial Hospital Foundation. The Boo Bash is on this weekend. And it is Boob Bash.
It is Boo Bash. I love the name.
Because they're raising money for mammography research and cameras at Trenton Memorial Hospital. So tying it into Halloween and the
breast
rest.
cancer research and prevention, which is so, so important.
And if you've got your tickets, you know how much fun you're going to have. If you don't, well, that's okay because you can still help out in an online auction. So Lindsay's going to lay it all out for you on the show tomorrow.
Yeah, it's on now until Tuesday.
Yep.
So even after the weekend, you can still get your bids in and help support Trenton Memorial Hospital Foundation.
And then we'll be unveiling our Throwback Thursday in honor of Halloween. Which,
of course.
We're just going to tell you that. And
like they had to guess. Although you were totally calling Jimmy today with his Dr. Vibes.
Yeah, I decided.
He's waiting until Thursday now to share the movies. So it's not always a given. We shouldn't assume that they figured we'd go with Halloween songs, but we are going with Halloween songs.
I'm having four thoughts.
Uh-oh.
Not even second thoughts, now fourth thoughts on my selection. But it's too late. Yeah, I know.
It's not too late. I can let Kay know and we can switch it up. You don't want, because you know I'm going to pummel you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Because here's what it is people are on to me that sometimes I pick a horrible song and they think it's because I pity you.
Do you do it on purpose?
No, not really.
That you pity me. You don't pity.
I
don't think it's pity. I think they just think you don't pick good songs.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
I don't want people to accuse me of saying, see, you're clearly tanking. Nobody's going to pick that one.
They think I pity you with the weeks I lose.
It's really hard to say at this point.
So what do you want to go with then?
I don't know.
Do you really want to change? You really like the song, though. And I've said that.
Do.
You should go with what you like. I like my song. I really enjoy my song.
Well, I like your song, too. Everybody likes your song, which is why it's going to win. But I should look like I'm putting an effort in rather than, oh, my God.
I did question this week.
The old guy on the show has said what?
If you were just playing to that persona and not really trying this week. I will say I did. But
I'm going to switch it up.
But then I know that I'm going to win, so I don't care.
You're going to win anyway, but I'm going to make a better effort, a better showing. I'm going to switch it up. And I'll tell you which one after the podcast. And then we'll do it on the air tomorrow.
Okay, I'll make a note.
But I am going to put that on my surprise button so I can have it there and play along with it. Have some fun, just to poke the bear, just to bug you.
I wish I had a surprise button.
You don't have one.
I know.
That's why they seat you over there. It's poor thought.
Is that why they seat me over here?
That's bad execution on their part. And I use every advantage I've got. And I still lose. Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast. Post-election day, municipally, October the 25th. Have a good one. We'll talk tomorrow.